Well, good morning. It is Monday, September 22nd, and Hurricane Gabrielle, as of early this morning, has seen quite a drastic uptick in intensity. Gabrielle now major hurricane status at a Category 3 storm with max sustained winds of 120 miles per hour. That pressure continues to get lower and lower, now at 955 millibars, and moving to the north at about 10 miles per hour. Now, Gabrielle is currently located just to the southeast of Bermuda, sending some outer bands of rain and some gusty winds over there to the island. As of the 11 a.m. advisory, Gabrielle is going to continue to move up to the north before finally making a northeastern turn as we go into the near future. The biggest update with this 11 a.m. advisory, Gabrielle is now forecasted to strengthen into a Category 4 storm before moving back into a Category 3, still maintaining that major hurricane status all the way through Tuesday evening, and then it will steadily weaken into a Category 2 and a Category 1 as you head into the end of the work week this week. And then as we go into the weekend, Gabrielle's still going to have a lifespan, but the winds go down to about 65 miles per hour, indicating Gabrielle will go back down to tropical storm status as it does approach the western coast of Europe, countries like Portugal, Spain, and maybe even up into France and the United Kingdom. So the good news with Gabrielle, it's only going to impact Bermuda. It will not have any impacts here in the U.S. as you continue to see this turn away from the eastern coast of the United States. But taking a look at the tropics, they have definitely woken up over the past couple of days. We now have two other areas we're monitoring for potential development. Right now, the first of which is closest to home, is indicated by this orange X down here just to the east of the Lesser Antilles and the Windward Islands. It's a disorganized cluster of some showers and thunderstorms right now, but as you can see, the shaded area, it moves up to the west and northwest. Looks like if it is to get its act together, probably going to have some implications across Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and then is forecasted to continue to move somewhere over here really close to the southeast United States into the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. As of right now, very slim chances of developing over the next 48 hours. So obviously this system is going to be very slow to develop, but some moderate chances of developing past that window at about 40%. This area does have this shaded area and the general location and path going really close to the southeast United States. So this is going to warrant some monitoring. As of right now, we're still not forecasting any impacts to any southeast coastal areas down in Florida, maybe into Georgia or South Carolina. But there is another tropical wave immediately behind that orange X, and this one is indicated by a red X, which means it has high chances of development. The good news is that high chance of development is going to be over the course of the next week. Still pretty slim chances of developing over the next 48 hours, as you can see a lot of Saharan dust in this portion of the central Atlantic Ocean. So this tropical wave will continue at a similar path as Hurricane Gabrielle. In fact, it does look like it's going to follow right in the footsteps of Gabrielle and kind of take that turn up to the north as we go into the near future. The good news with both these systems is we do have a frontal system that is expected to impact the southeast United States Thursday into Friday, maybe still lingering in the picture for a little bit of Saturday, but hopefully that will act as a steering mechanism and send both of these potential systems back out into the Atlantic Ocean, very similar to where Hurricane Gabrielle is currently lingering. So if these two systems get their act together, which it does look pretty likely for one, but then moderate chances of development still below a 50-50 shot if we will get a named storm with that. Gabrielle did mark the 7th named storm of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, and Gabrielle strengthened into only the second hurricane that we've seen of these names so far. Hurricane Aaron was the first of which, but Gabrielle has also now reached that major hurricane status, which once again, it is the second storm to do that. Hurricane Aaron did strengthen into a Category 5 storm, but very thankfully didn't have many impacts along areas in the Atlantic Ocean at the time of where it was a Category 5 storm. So the next two names to claim are going to be H and I, which will be our 8th and 9th named storms of the Atlantic hurricane season. The first of which is going to be Umberto, and the second of which is going to be Imelda. So that's the H and the I names, and obviously the H name very important for keeping pace with last year's hurricane season. On Wednesday, September 24th, that will be the anniversary of when Hurricane Helene did form. So we're still running at a very similar pace to last year's hurricane season. We'll have to keep an eye out on the tropics and continue to keep you updated, because once we went into October last year, it was a very active time of hurricane season. We got all the way down to the R and S names before the season was over. So just because it has been quiet so far doesn't mean that you can't get a ramp up in activity just like that, even past the official peak of hurricane season. We'll continue to keep you updated on the tropics. Right now, lots of areas worth monitoring, but still no impacts were forecasted in the near future for the United States or here in central Georgia.